Wow, this video is very eye-opening. This is insane to me that we're almost done with the video and there's completely different products on both sides of my face. I'm gonna have my husband come downstairs and guess which side is which, because truly. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna be testing out your favorite dupes. I've been trying to film this video for so long, but I did underestimate how long it would take to prep for this video, but I'm so happy to finally be sitting down to film it. So I asked you guys a while back over on Instagram to share with me your favorite dupes. I have wanted to make more dupe videos on my channel, but I'm honestly not familiar with the style of them, so I figured it'd be kind of fun to start out my dupe videos with you guys telling me the dupes that you already enjoy so that I don't repeat myself too much, or I can look for other dupes in my collection for other products that I personally have. I'm going to be doing one half of my face with the high-end version and one half of my face with the dupe for whatever product it is. So we're just going to get right into it. I've got my notes right here. We're going to start off with complexion today. This one is fascinating actually. So this was submitted by Melanie and she said her favorite dupe is this right here. So we have the Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream, which is supposed to be a dupe for the very famous Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. So we're gonna test that out. Maybe I'll actually do the high end on this side and then the dupe on the right side of my face. So I'm gonna start off with the Magic Cream, of course. And I'll give you guys a look at the texture of each so we can kind of compare as we go. The packaging on the Juno & Co. one is really, really interesting. Okay, so here we have Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. Here we have the Juno & Co. Moonshine Cream. Honestly, the texture is very, very similar. So let's go ahead and apply the Magic Cream to this side. I'm gonna use my fingers to blend this out. I love how this makes my complexion feel. I have not yet tried the Juno & Co. one, so here it is. I'm gonna take this on the other side of my face and apply it. Wow, I feel like the texture really is similar. The smell is obviously different. Okay, all of a sudden it started to ball up like crazy. I don't know if it's reacting with the skincare that I have underneath or what. That's obviously not gonna work for applying makeup on top, so I'm gonna remove my skincare on this side, and then we're gonna try that again with the same Juno & Co. moisturizer. Maybe it just needs to set. Maybe I used too much. I don't really know. Hopefully this works. But yeah, the texture is so similar. Besides how it reacted to whatever else was on my skin, I can see totally how you could compare those two creams. Okay, I'm gonna let that sink in and not move it around too much to avoid pilling, but I think it was whatever my skincare was underneath that reacted with it. Okay, next up for primer, this was something that Nicole submitted, and I think there were a couple other people as well. Her favorite dupe was for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and that is this right here from Hard Candy. It's the Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. I'm gonna pump out the Milk Makeup one right here on the back of my hand, and then let's apply the Hard Candy primer on the other side of my hand, which is this one right here. So even the coloring is very, very similar on these. We're gonna start off with the Milk Makeup one on this side of my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my fingers to apply this. Just doing a nice light thin layer all over the complexion. I'm gonna wipe off my hand on a tissue and then go into the other primer from Hard Candy and apply this all over the other side of my face. I wonder if it dries down the same. Definitely, of course, has that gel-like consistency. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sink in. I feel like with some of these primer type products, I may not be able to tell personally the difference until I wear them a few times, but based off my first impressions, they both have the same amount of tackiness, and the slight cooling feeling as well is very, very similar. Ooh, that's fun. All right. Moving on to complexion. This is by far the #1 complexion product that was submitted, and it's for foundation. So you guys have been loving the dupe for the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, which is, of course, the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. So, which by the way, that was submitted by Emma and so many other people again. But also, Nellie submitted her favorite dupe, which was a sponge. So she said her favorite dupe for the original Beauty Blender is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. So I'm gonna be blending out each CC cream with this sponge. We're gonna start off with the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I have the shade Fair, and I'm actually gonna blend this out with a brush first. This is the IT Cosmetics Love as a Foundation brush. And I'm just gonna start to blend this out all over the face. And I'm gonna kind of stipple it so I don't move the Hydro Grip Primer around. I actually had to rebuy this because it had been so long since I had used it, and so I just decluttered this product in my collection. But so many people really love it, so I'm actually excited to revisit it and especially compare it to the e.l.f. CC cream because I've been loving the e.l.f. CC cream a lot. Okay, I'm pressing that in with my sponge. Okay, there's the side with the IT Cosmetics CC cream. Now we're gonna go into the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. I have mine in the shade Fair 120N. This might be a little bit lighter than the fair shade of the IT Cosmetics one, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in with a different foundation brush and apply this to the other side of the face. Yeah, the shades are not exact matches, but it's pretty close. We're gonna go in with the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge to blend out and press in the brush lines on the CC cream from e.l.f. Something's not sitting well on this side either. It must have been my skincare. I probably should have wiped off both sides, but hopefully as I continue to be gentle with the rest of the makeup, things will look okay. So honestly, I mean, looking at this side by side, I feel like it has the exact same amount of coverage, the exact same amount of sheen. And honestly, again, I don't know if it was the skincare on this side or what, but this side looks better. The more affordable side looks a lot better to me, which is really interesting. I'm all about finding, you know, affordable products that perform the same as, if not better than high end. So maybe that will be the case with this. I'm gonna wipe off this foundation on the lips before we continue. For concealer, this was submitted by Jessica and so many more people. Her favorite dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape is actually the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Not the hydrating one, right? I don't think so. I think it was just the plain camo concealer. It's supposed to be a good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. So let's go ahead and apply this. I feel like both CC creams give me amazing coverage on the sides of the face, so I'm only going to use this underneath the eyes. Starting off with the Tarte Shape Tape, we'll just do about that much underneath the eyes, and I'm gonna blend this out with my Beauty Blender. I feel like it's been so long since I've used this product as well. I'm gonna take what's left and apply it to the eyelid. Then I'm gonna take the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Light Sand, which is the closest shade I have to, oh my gosh, Light Sand is also the Tarte shade. Really? Well, they're both the shade Light Sand, folks. All right, I'm gonna take Light Sand and the Camo Concealer, dot that underneath the eyes, and blend that out with my e.l.f. sponge. I'm gonna apply that to the eyelid as well. Okay, honestly, you guys, again, this side is looking way better. I don't know if it's my skincare or what on this side, but things are pilling up and flaking a lot more and just looking like it's sitting on top of the skin, where this side looks very, very seamless. I actually really like the concealer under the eyes. It gave more coverage, in my opinion, than the Tarte Shape Tape did. So far so good. All right, so next up, June submitted her favorite dupe, which is for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and lots of other people also submitted this, but they said that the dupe for it is from number 7. It's this powder right here. It's the Triple Action Translucent Finishing Powder, and I have mine in the shade Light. So here they are side by side. We're gonna go ahead and use this to set the under eye area on both eyes. Not the same product, but you know, the dupes we're gonna go ahead and do on half of each face. So let's start off with the Charlotte Tilbury one, which is one that I personally love and use. Obviously, I've hit pan on this one. And I'm just gonna use this and press it underneath the eyes. We're gonna take it down the T-zone. We're gonna apply it on the forehead. We're gonna set the eyelids with it, basically the entire center portion of the face. I feel like that really helped with the emphasized texture on this side of the face. It really helped to smooth everything down. That looks really nice. Okay, then we're gonna take the number 7 powder in the shade Fair, and I'm gonna start to apply that underneath the eyes, down the center of the face. And I hope you guys can see that on camera as well. You get the same kind of airbrushed and blurred effect. They look very, very similar side by side. I would say the Charlotte Tilbury one has just a slight bit more of a blurring effect than the number 7, but they're definitely very, very similar. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna gently take my Beauty Blender on the high-end side and just press that down into the complexion so there's no powdery finish. Then I'm taking my e.l.f. sponge on the affordable side and continuing to press that down as well. Okay, let's do brows next. So far, like when I step back, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between either side right now, which is awesome. Okay, this brow dupe was submitted by Morgan, and she said her favorite dupe for the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, which is my favorite brow pencil, is this right here from Morphe. So I picked this up and I'm so excited to try it. I've heard good things about this actually. It's the Micro Brow Pencil. I picked mine up in the shade Latte. So here's what the Morphe one looks like. I'm gonna draw this on the back of my hand so I can compare the colors. I think I might have to use my lighter shade of my brow pencil, which is 3.5 to kind of get a little bit more of a match. And even then, I should have gone with something deeper. Here it is, just for reference. This is the shade 3.5 in the Benefit Precise in my brow pencil, and that is Morphe Latte. We're gonna just go with it and make it work anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Benefit one to this side of my face. Okay, this brow is done. We're gonna go into the Morphe brow pencil on this side. Okay, I feel like that applied really nicely. Again, I do think I need a shade that has a little bit more of a cool tone. This one's a little too warm toned for my personal brow hairs, but that applied really well. Part of the reason why I always reach for my Precise in my brow pencil is for the longevity. So while it applied really, really nicely, and I feel like you can't really tell the difference between the two, I will say this kind of brushed out a little bit softer, so this leaves more visible hair-like strokes, if that makes sense, after you brush them out. But overall, they're very similar. What I was saying was, though, the reason why I gravitate toward this one so much is because it lasts a very long time on my brows. So we'll have to see if the longevity is there with the Morphe one, but so far so good. Okay, let's finish up the complexion, then we'll do eyes. Okay, so I actually have two different bronzer dupes. So Hira submitted this as her favorite dupe. She said the dupe for the Hoola Light bronzer by Benefit is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for lighter skin. So let's see if we can kind of swatch this a little bit. It's a little bit hard to swatch the Hoola Light in the box like this. Ultimately, we will compare it to the face side by side, but I'm just gonna swatch these two next to each other to see. Okay, so here is Benefit Light. Now I did build this up a couple of times, and this is the Essence Matte Bronzing Powder. So I'm gonna start off with the Benefit Hoola. And again, this is the light, which I like to start with the lighter shade. So I'm gonna work this into this half of my face. I'm gonna also blend it down the neck. I'm gonna put a tiny bit along the side of the nose too. On this side of the face, I'm gonna start layering up the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. Again, this is the lighter shade that they have. This smells really nice. I'm just gonna build this up on the opposite side of the face. Okay, I feel like the Essence one is just a little bit more sheer. So I tried to build it up to match, but once you build it up, it looks pretty much identical. I mean, wouldn't you guys say? Wow, this video is very eye-opening. It's kind of fun. Okay, this dupe is one that was submitted by Charles C. It's actually a dupe for the original Hoola from Benefit. So this one right here, and she said the dupe for that is this, the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkiss. So I actually bought this. A lot of these dupes I already owned, but never knew they were dupes for each other. And like a lot of them I enjoyed on their own and just never put two and two together that they were dupes. Okay, so this one actually, side by side, they do look very, very similar. I feel like the box is kind of casting a shadow on it, but there we go. I feel like the colors are very similar in the pan. So let's try these out. I'm just gonna use the same brushes that I use, but the high-end brush with the high-end powder, if that makes sense. So I use this brush with the Benefit Light. So I like to layer these two bronzers. I'm just gonna take that and add a bit more warmth right on top of the Benefit Light bronzer. And then I'm gonna take the brush we used with the Essence Sun Club powder and dip into this e.l.f. bronzer and do the same thing, just kind of warm up the forehead a little more. Okay, everything looks so similar. I'm just going over the high-end side with my Beauty Blender. Then I'm gonna move over to the dupe side with my e.l.f. sponge and just make sure all the edges are softened. Okay, we're actually gonna go into highlighter next. So Peyton and several more people said that their favorite dupe for the Anastasia Amrezy Highlighter, which is a limited edition highlighter that I know so many of us loved, and apparently this is one of the products that I've had and loved separately, but didn't realize they were dupes for each other. The Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. I mean, look at that. They look so similar in the pan. So I'm gonna first take the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. Both of these have a baked formula, and I'm going to apply this to this side of my face. I love that highlighter. And on the other side, of course, we're going in with the Revlon dupe, which I'm gonna layer up in the same areas on that side of my face. Okay, let's look up close at these. Yeah, definitely so similar. Wow, that's wild. I think this one might be like the closest dupe I've seen so far. Maybe it's just because it's like a more obvious formula. Having a baked highlighter, I think that looks so pretty. I can't believe that. Okay, this is nice to know about, especially because that's limited edition, like the Amrezy one. So it's nice to know that there's something that will give you the exact same look, and it happens to be drugstore, which makes it the best. So I just blended that out a little more with my sponge from e.l.f. And on this side, I'm going over everything with my Beauty Blender. Next up, we have blush. Now, this was submitted by Sydney, and this was one of the only like high-end products that I had to pick up for this video because I already owned the dupe for this. But she said her favorite dupe for this right here from Becca. This is the Becca Mineral Blush in the shade Flower Child. She said the dupe for this is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Dolce Pink. So here they are right here. Immediately, this one looks a little more sparkly than the Flower Child, but let's try them on and see. Starting off with the Flower Child blush, I'm gonna smile and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. Wow, that's beautiful. Definitely has a little bit of a sheen to it, nice glow. So now we're going to apply the Milani Dolce Pink blush on the other side of the face. Oh wow, okay, once applied, they're actually so much more similar than they were in the pan looking at them. Both give a really beautiful golden sheen, so just something to keep in mind. Wow, it looks the same. Oh my gosh, okay, this is honestly the one that I had the most doubts about just by looking at the pan. But again, once it's applied to the face, those look exactly the same. All right, same thing, taking my e.l.f. sponge and pressing this side down. And on the other side, my Beauty Blender, just to make sure everything's pressed in and blended. Wow, so pretty. Okay, eyeshadow is next. And this was submitted by, I think I may have typed this wrong or autocorrected weird. I think it may have been Kara, but I wrote down Caro. So maybe if it was Caro, you'll know who you are. If it's Kara, you will also know who you are. But she said her favorite dupe for the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia, which is all of our favorites, right? We all love this one. Is this right here, the Revolution Reloaded Velvet Rose palette. Let me show you guys these side by side because when I looked at them side by side, I was actually shocked. Look at those. Clearly, same exact tones. We're gonna create an eye look with them. I've got my two separate brush sets so we can use the same types of brushes, but just different sets so that I don't mix the two. All right, we're gonna start off in the Soft Glam palette. I'm gonna take the shade Tempera. This is on a number 2 Alter Ego brush, and I'm just gonna create a nice little base all over the entire lid with this. Then I'm gonna take the same brush and go into the shade Dusty Rose, just to start to create a little bit of a transition on this side. It has been way too long since I've used this palette. I love this palette. I'm also going to pinch the brush and run that along the lower lash line. All right, let's catch things up on the other eye. I'm going to do the same thing, dipping into the lightest shade in the Revolution palette, which looks very similar to Tempera. I'm just going to put that all over as my base. And then dipping into this matte Dusty Rose shade, which looks like Dusty Rose in the Soft Glam palette. I'm just going to buff this out. I'm also taking that and pinching the brush and applying it to the lower lash line. I'm adding a little more of the Dusty Rose shade to this side just to intensify it, to match the intensity on both eyes. Okay, I'm going to take the shade Rose Pink just with my finger, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid. Taking the corresponding shade in the Revolution palette, which is the center shimmer shade, I'm going to take that on my finger and apply it to this eye. So this one's just a little bit less warm toned, but still a very, very pretty shade. All right, I'm going backwards now. I'm taking this shade right here and applying it on this outer corner of the eye just to create a bit more dimension. And I'm going to pinch the brush and apply that same deeper bronzy shimmer shade on this outer third of the lower lash line, connecting it to the outer corner on the top lid. I'm now dipping into the shade Sultry from the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. And I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of buff this on this outer corner to add a bit of dimension, but to still keep the shimmer going across the lid. And then I'm pinching the brush and applying that to the lower lash line. I'm going in with the brush we used with the Charlotte Tilbury powder on this side, just sweeping away any fallout, and then taking the brush we used with the number 7 powder and sweeping away fallout on this side. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it there. I just wanna have like a pretty simple eye look and I like how it looks. We are going to apply an eyeliner. This dupe was submitted by Roberta. She said her favorite dupe for the Marc Jacobs eyeliners, these are called the Highliners, is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeliners. So I bought a brown shade because I have 2 different brown shades in the Marc Jacobs one, so we'll see which one is the closest shade. She didn't give a specific shade, but I'm assuming maybe the formula is what dupes it. So I'm gonna draw this. So this one's the L'Oreal right here. And again, this is the shade brown. Let's see if my brown shades are at all similar. Okay, that's pretty close. This is in Brownie, it's a little warmer. And then my other one is called Earthquake. Oh, there we go. That's almost an exact dupe. Look at that. So Earthquake and the L'Oreal. So that's what I'm going to wear is the shade Earthquake. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line starting on the very center of the lid and moving all the way out to the outer corner to just define that there. And then I'm also going to take this and apply it to the outer third of the lower lash line too. On this eye, of course, we're going to take the L'Oreal Infallible eyeliner and do the same thing. Okay, so those applied very similarly. I feel like we saw how close the color match was for Earthquake and the brown shade. So now we're going to move on to mascara. This is by far the top favorite mascara dupe. So Elaine and so many more people said their favorite dupe for the Too Faced mascara is, of course, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I feel like we all know about this dupe, but sometimes it's a good reminder. I mean, you guys know how much I love L'Oreal Lash Paradise. In fact, I personally like this better than the Too Faced one. But let me show you even the wand comparison here. Very, very similar. So let's apply this. I'm going to apply the Too Faced mascara to this eye. And I'm going to really build it up just like I do with the L'Oreal one. I find that I get a bit more fallout with the Too Faced one than I do the L'Oreal, like by the end of the day. Wow, that really did make an impact though. Look at the difference. Okay, we're going to match that with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Okay, so both mascaras are on. I feel like they look so similar. I will say though, and I don't know if it's just me, but looking up close, I feel like the Too Faced one has a little bit of a deeper, richer, dark black pigment. I mean, they're both very dark, but up close, I mean, that's something that no one would notice. But the Too Faced one does seem to have a little bit of a richer pigment to it. I mean, they're so similar, but it's just slightly darker, I'm noticing. Honestly, I think I'm most excited for the lip product dupes. So for lip liner, Kelly submitted that her favorite dupe for the famous Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner is the NYX lip liner in the shade Peekaboo Neutral. So I bought this as well. I'm so excited to open it and see how close these colors are because I love the Pillow Talk shade of lip liner. I think it's so flattering. Let's swatch them before we apply. So I'm going to swatch the Charlotte Tilbury first. So there it is right there. And next to it, I'm going to apply the NYX Peekaboo Neutral. Oh, wow. There's that one right there. So similar, you guys. This one has a little bit more of a peachy undertone, it seems. But, I mean, they're going to be virtually the same once I apply it, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and apply the NYX lip liner. And I'm going to line and fill in the lips with this. So there's the NYX. On the other side, of course, we're going to apply Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so now that they're side by side, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one has a little bit more of a muted pink tone to it, where the NYX one is a little more warm, but I mean, they're very, very similar in color for sure. And even formula, I feel like my lips are reacting the same to both of those formulas. All right, we're moving on to lipstick. So this was submitted by several people, but Felicia was the first one that I saw. She said her favorite dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick is the Flower Beauty Spiced Petal lipstick. Let's swatch these as well, shall we? Right underneath the lip liner, I'm going to swatch Pillow Talk lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. There's that right there. And then we'll do Spiced Petal right below the NYX lip liner. There's that one. Oh, wow. So definitely I feel like a little bit of a closer match with this Spiced Petal shade. This one has a bit more of a sheen, it seems like, but they're very similar. Let's go ahead and apply the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk to this side of the lips, and then Flower Beauty Spiced Petal to this side. Yeah, the formulas are slightly different. The Flower Beauty one is definitely a little more hydrating feeling, where the Charlotte Tilbury one is more of a matte formula. So that's a little more obvious with the finish difference on both sides of the lips, but still so similar. I feel like when you layer the lip liner and the lipstick on the dupe side, it becomes much more of a close match than just the lip liners alone. For gloss, so many people submitted this, and this is one of my favorite dupes as well. But Maddie and many more people said that their favorite dupe for the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy is, of course, the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Moon. So similar. I think I've already mentioned this one in a previous video when I was trying out these glosses. I grabbed the Fussy gloss to just see, and they are such close dupes. So I'm applying the Fenty one to this side of my face, and then moving over to the Lifter gloss on the dupe side. I mean, once lip gloss is applied, I feel like it looks like I'm wearing the same products on my lips. Wow, this is wild to me. Let me swatch the glosses just so you guys can see on my hand how they look. Here's Fenty and Fussy. And next to it, I will swatch the Lifter Gloss in Moon. There it is right there. There's a little bit of a deeper pigment in here, but you can see on this area on this half, it's a little more sheer, and that really matches well with the Maybelline one. Like I said, once you apply it, you cannot tell the difference. This is insane to me that we're almost done with the video, and there's completely different products on both sides of my face. Okay, other than that, I don't want to assess the situation too much so that I can really see the difference. But we're going to go into setting spray now. And Sheena said that her favorite dupe for the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray is this right here, Milani Make It Last. So we're gonna do Urban Decay on the side of my face. Okay, I'm gonna let that kind of dry a little bit and then take my beauty blender and press that in. And then we're taking the Milani Make It Last on this side. Ooh, this one spits a little bit more. Whoops. But I like how that one smells a lot better. And I'm gonna press that in with my e.l.f. sponge. Guys, am I crazy or is the dupe side looking better? I'm gonna have my husband come downstairs and guess which side is which, because truly this looks better. Doesn't it? I feel like it's much more lifted. The concealer was so much better, I feel like, than the Tarte Shape Tape over here. Brows, we're gonna finish off with a brow gel. So Madison submitted this and so many other people did as well. She said her favorite dupe for the Benefit Gimme Brow is the Essence Make Me Brow, which you guys have told me about this dupe before too. And I've tried it out and I remember really liking it. I just don't use tinted brow gels nearly as much as I use clear brow gel, but I'm gonna run the Benefit one through this side. Now this is the shade 3. And then I'm taking the Essence Make Me Brow and I'm running that through the other side. All right, you guys, so that completes this dupe makeup look. The high-end side is here, the dupe side is here, and I'm shocked at how much I like this side better. I'm gonna call my husband and see if he's home so that I can have him guess which side is which.
Hi, Tiny.
Are you home?
Yeah.
Wanna come guess which side is which?
Yes.
Okay, come on down.
Okay.
Okay, this video floored me, honestly. I see why you guys like dupe videos so much because this is shocking. Like I could go out all day and not even care because it looks like I'm wearing the exact same makeup across the board. Okay.
Okay, so half of your face is like
half of my face is high-end, half of my face is drugstore.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
What?
I know.
I wouldn't even know.
I know, it's crazy, but look close and I'm actually shocked. So I'm interested to see what you would say.
Close your eyes.
Okay. I might have mascara marks I didn't clean up. Like even down to the lipstick, like everything is half and half. Yeah, like everything. Primer, everything.
Cream. Literally have no idea.
Do you like one side better?
No, like this is high end, this is dupe.
This is the dupe side.
It looks better.
That's what I said.
Well, I mean, I can't tell the difference, like I said, but...
No, it looks smoother to me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The only thing is smoother, and the highlight even, down to the highlight, looks more, like, refined.
Yeah.
What?
I know. Like, the concealer looked better on this side than this side. Everything. Cool, huh?
That turned out really good.
I know. Well, folks, clearly this was a successful video because I agree. I think this side looks better than this side. I don't know what it is. It's so much more smooth. It looks more lifted. I mean, obviously, I did wipe away my skincare on this side, which could have been a factor, but at the same time, it's like, it should have looked better. I feel like some of these areas here are more emphasized than here. The powder underneath my eyes and the concealer, like the concealer powder combo on this side is not nearly as nice and flawless looking as this side on the dupe side. So thank you guys to everybody who submitted dupes. This is probably one of my favorite videos I've filmed so far because of the incredible dupes that you guys helped me discover or realize. So thank you again. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you guys saw a difference and which side you think looked better. And also let me know if you would love to see more videos like this. I would love to continue to try some dupes. I personally have found some that I feel like are dupes for each other. So let me know if you want to see my personal selections when it comes to dupe products, but I loved everything. I loved everything on the dupe side, down to even the sponge. I feel like the sponge was so great. I don't feel like you need to spend 20 bucks on a beauty blender. I personally still love the beauty blender, but this really did prove that price doesn't always matter when it comes to making your makeup look amazing. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I love you all so much. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.